Joining me today, I have a very inspiring man, Jon Fenton, joining me once more. Jon, thank you so much for taking the time.
And thank you for reaching out and great to chat with you.
Absolutely. You did something pretty incredible this summer. Now, you live in Alberta, but you had been in Manitoba for much of your life. Some of your cancer journey is from Manitoba as well. Let us know, for those who don't remember or know, what happened this summer.
Yeah, so I tried to swim across Lake Winnipeg from Grand Beach, Grand Marais to Gimli. Didn't quite make it. Came up short, but what's the expression? I didn't leave anything out there on the lake. I was done. And the analogy, I guess, is if it's a car, like the engine was good. My stamina, I wasn't really, I was tired, but I wasn't, that wasn't the reason. Basically, two wheels came off. My shoulders gave out. They just seized up. And then Sylvia, I got in the boat and I looked like a T-Rex. I could not lift my arm this high. Yeah. So, having a celebratory glass of rosé when I got to the cottage in Gimli, I was reaching for it like this and sort of going like this. Yeah, yeah. But they're okay the next day. A little sore, but
Good. Okay.
yeah. But it was for a
What
cancer
a
fundraiser for Cancer Care Manitoba, for the Alberta Cancer Foundation, and then for Health Sciences Center Foundation.
Yeah, you
So
are a cancer survivor yourself, two-time, is that right?
2 times. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Lucky duck. Yeah.
So recently, I believe on Facebook, you posted that you raised a specific amount. You were able to bring that big check, which I think is so fun too. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So the final total was like 41,000, about 700. And the bulk of it came to Manitoba because I think that's where the attention was. Maybe the event happened there, but I got close to 9,000 for Alberta Cancer Foundation. So they reached out. We did a little one of those giant lottery checks, pay to the order of. But here's the irony or the symbolism. It wasn't a lottery check, but I won the lottery twice, right? Getting through cancer. So I'd rather have that lottery than the other one. Yeah.
How did it feel? You did this very big feat and trained for it. You raised all this money. How did it feel giving back to this place that has helped you in your own journey?
It felt great because, to be honest, it was a tiny bit selfish because touch wood, if this ever comes back, you have to get treatment again. And there's a kind of a fairly new treatment they're doing for blood cancers called the CAR T cell therapy. And they, like layman's terms, they basically take out some of your T cells and then they modify them and then they put them back in and they go and attack the tumor. So I know that was a little Pac-Man reference, but so heck, that some of the money will make it there for sure or whatever. So yeah, it feels good to give back and also just to keep it going because who knows, who needs it of all the people I know and the treatments and just got to keep going, got to keep fundraising.
I think it's very inspiring. And this all, speaking of inspiration, came from one very special lady. You had a wonderful meeting recently. Tell us about this.
Yeah. So, like last year, I was looking up people who had swam across Lake Winnipeg. And I came with the very first person to do it was excuse me, a lady named Kathy Leach. That's her married name. It was Kathy McIntosh back in the day. But she did it when she was 20 years old in 1955. And I was reading this, and she did it with her dad was in a canoe and her boyfriend at the time, and no Gatorade, no power gel, no wetsuit, which just blew me away. Anyway, so and I did some interviews last summer, and I was talking about if she could do it without all that technology and assistance, heck, how hard can it be? So anyway, after I tried the swim, didn't make it, but got a good chunk done. I get this call. I'm on vacation in BC, and I get a call in it, and it's like, "Hi, Johnny, this is Kathy, the swimmer." And I just, if you know the movie Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner, right? So I felt like Ray Kinsella, his character, getting a call from Shoeless Joe Jackson. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know she'd still be around. She's 91 years old. and 91 years young, I should say. And I asked her. I said, Kathy, like, how did you do it? Because I was 8.5 hours in the water. She was 17, almost 17 hours, right? And she said to me, sorry, this isn't how her voice sounds, but it conveys kind of the feeling of it. She says, Johnny, to tell you the truth, I never even trained for it. I did it on a dare from my dad. And I was sitting on a log. I almost fell off. Like I could not believe it. So anyway, so a couple of weeks later, I was talking to my friend. He said, you got to go and get a picture with her. Like that's like Marilyn Bell, or a living legend essentially, right? So I called her up and I said, hey, Kathy, remember we spoke a couple of weeks back? Oh, sure, I remember you. You're the loser that didn't make it across the. No, she did not say that. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But that's what my friends were joking about. But anyway, so yeah, I went out there and we went out for dinner and just like I've never met a more vibrant, energetic, not only 91-year-old but just person. Like she had this glow, this you know what I mean. Like you've met people where their eyes are just like she's just so with it and so engaging. Asking me more questions than I was asking her. Right. So it's just I think it's a lesson for all of us, just stay active, stay curious. She's going strong and she's gonna be going a lot longer too. So I invited her to come out and cheer me on next summer because I'm gonna try it again. Because so she yeah, get this. So she the first time she tried it in the canoe, she got 4 miles from Gimli, and then they were swamped. The canoe was swamped. Big storm came up. Again, she didn't have the little windy app that I had, that could give all the accurate wind forecasts. So, they haul her into the boat. Well, her second attempt was a week later, like 1 week, and my second attempt. It's going to be a full winter of training, right? But people are saying to me, "Hey, remember, she was 20, and I'm all coming up on 62." I'm like, I don't know. Age. What is age?
Slight difference.
Slight difference. Age is mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter, right? So anyway, yeah, it was great to meet her.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I was going to say, like, you talk about vibrant people. You are one of those people, just so you know.
Oh, thanks. Same to you.
Do you have like a training plan, and do you also have a date-ish when you're going to attempt this next year?
Yeah, I'm just back in the pool. I'm gonna have to do more sort of, I think, sprint training I've been reading about because I would just go out and swim, and then less breaks because that did mean I think just I'd stop every half an hour and do these little Facebook posts up from the water saying, did you realize chemotherapy was derived from mustard gas? And how did they figure that out? Through research. And how did they get the research done? Through contributions. So send your tax-deductible donations to johnnysbigswim.com. I do these little things, but while I'd stop and do that, we'd drift off. The Red River's coming up and it's pushing everything north. So I think, next summer, I'm thinking about July, middle of July, just, go quick break for food and just, stick to the task and less sort of spotlight, look at me, look at me.
Yes. Well, perhaps I will come out initially when you set off and cheer you on. I would really love to do that.
That'd be great.
And I do mean that. But Jon, you are an inspiration. I'm so excited that people got on board and that you were able to help out with all that research. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thanks, Sylvia. Appreciate the interest.